Recently, I made a video about how I'm learning 3 languages on my own, which includes 3 useful tips for learning any language. I will put the video here, make sure to check it out. Among these languages, I learned Turkish only by watching the series with subtitles. Of course, there was a time when I didn't care about subtitles and just watched the movies. Well, this shows that watching with subtitles, subtitle in your native language, helps to learn the language, but it takes a long time to learn. Result and effect are very, very low. Well, let's see together how I watch the movies and what technique I'm using to learn the language. First of all, it's kind of step 0. I will watch the whole movie to just get a feeling for it, and I will do the best I can to understand it. If subtitles are available in Persian, which is for me my native language, I will watch it with subtitles just to understand what's happening. The next step, step 1, is choosing the first scene. I choose the first 2 or 3 minutes and watch only that. Of course, if that scene of that movie is easier for you, you can increase the minute. For example, in English, I sometimes choose the first 5 or 6 minutes, but for a language like Russian, I choose just 2 minutes or maybe 3. Because I face a large number of new words and new pronunciation challenge, and it is more difficult for me than English. Anyway, it totally depends on you. Okay, I play the first scene and I will turn on the subtitle or captions in that language, in the language of my movie. While I'm watching the first few minutes and read along, I write down words and phrases that I don't know. When the first scene finishes, now I have a list of new words and phrases that I found their meanings from the dictionary and write them down. Now, the next step is, yes, I rewind back to the beginning of scene 1. I reviewed my vocabulary. Now I will play the first scene again, and still subtitle is on. Now this time I will notice most of the new words and phrases because I found their meanings. When the first 2 or 3 minutes finish again, I take a quick look at my vocabularies. Just a quick review. I'm not trying to memorize them. Any ones I don't remember, I will review the meanings. Then, guess what? I rewind back, play again, just the first scene, and watch it again. And I will continue listening to that part of the movie 2 or 3 more times for the rest of the day, and this is just for the first day. It helps me a lot because those new words will pop out and I'll hear the native speaker saying them, so all those new things are repeating for me. Here I have a recommendation for you to see a better result, and that is to divide your listening time. For example, if you allocated 1 hour a day for your listening skill, it is better to divide it into 2 or 3 parts. The thing I personally do is, because I study 3 languages in a day, for example, in the morning I study Russian. The first 15 minutes are for listening, but I divide it to 2 parts, 25 minutes each one of them. The first 25 minutes is in the morning, and the second 25 minutes is in the afternoon. When I finish studying English, I will listen to the same repeated content in Russian. However, this time I'm not listening to it very carefully. I will listen to it while I'm cleaning my desk, or I don't know, washing the dishes or something like this. In this way, if I've learned something new from that video, it will be repeated to me again during the day, and repetition is very, very important in learning a language. Now, for the next day, I will watch the same first scene, and this time I will turn off the subtitle. I'm all ears, and I listen carefully. I can remember most of those new words and phrases. When that 2 or 3 minutes finished, I'll pause and review my vocabularies. Maybe a couple of them I forgot. No big deal. Quick review, and then again watching the first scene. This time I remember my listening actually gets a little better. The speed and speech is getting easier to understand for me. I'm gonna continue doing this. Rewind back, play, rewind back, and play. I will do it 5-6 times per day. On the 3rd day, because I understand and remember almost everything, now it's time for me to focus on my pronunciation. For this, I'm using shadowing technique. At the beginning, if I find it difficult, I will turn on subtitles, but after 3 or 4 times repeating, I will turn off captions, subtitles, and do shadowing technique. On the last day, maybe day 6 or 7, when I almost master on that first scene, I will record my voice, and this is actually an optional option, play that movie and repeat right after that actors. I'm not waiting until he or she finish their speaks. I'm doing this because I wanted to learn it deeply. And just by finishing that first scene, I learn a lot of new words, phrases, my listening skill improves a lot, my pronunciation same. Well, imagine movie is 1 hour and I will use this technique for whole the movie. Yes, it may take a long time. Maybe I will finish that movie in a month and a half, but I'm learning it very, very deeply, in a way that I'm never gonna forget anything. And at the end of that movie, I've learned a lot of new words, I can make a lot of new sentences, and there is a huge difference between my before and after listening skill. Same for my pronunciation, of course. This method for learning through a movie is great, and it helps me a lot in language learning process. I hope that it helps you and you can put it to good use in your language learning journey. If you find this video useful for yourself, please don't forget to support me by hitting the subscribe button, and until the next video, bye bye.